Alright, so you guys can hear me okay sitting back? I'm using a different microphone than before. I find the fancy microphone kind of gets in the way. I'm more of a cheap microphone kind of gal, I guess. Alright, so last week we had Norwegian Wood, and I think like everyone looked like they were doing pretty good with that. I had so much fun playing it, and I did record myself playing it to give you guys some ideas about what you could do with it, so hopefully that helped. So, you know, I was asked to do a Celtic tune, so I'm going for it. We got Whiskey Before Breakfast, which is, it's a reel, so it's in 4/4 time. I've heard it played, you know, all sorts of different speeds. We're going to take it slow to start. You can play it fast, you can play it slow. Do what you want with it, right? Have fun with it. I've got some study notes on it right at the bottom because it still fits into my thought process of using stepwise motions in the key of C to help you get really comfortable with that C scale. And again, different songs that you can use as warm-ups, right? And so the C major scale, I'm just going to go through, play it, and then I'll share it, okay? So we've got our C major scale sitting there, just down in the open position. I'm going to go through and just play it with my thumb to start, although this song is pretty speedy, so as you get going, you may want to walk your fingers, okay? Rather than pluck with your thumb, but it's up to you. Okay, so we've got our C major scale. Okay, so we got that. The rhythm of the song is mostly 8ths and quarters, lined up pretty good, like pretty straightforward to follow, but there is in the second section, there's some syncopation that I wanted to talk with you about. And looking at the sheet music, that occurs in bar 9 and bar 11. So I took that syncopated rhythm and wrote it down in the study notes section. And I'm going to sit and play just that measure. I'm going to play it and then I'm going to count it. So that's measure 9 that I took. Almost the same thing applies to measure 11. So it sounds like this. Right? 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So because you've got a quarter, or sorry, an 8th note, then quarter, then 8th, you want to make sure you let that quarter still ring out for 2 8th notes worth, right? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... That's where using 2 fingers, or like a thumb and a finger, is kind of handy. So if you're like, okay, where's the beat 2 come in, or how do I really feel that? I'm going to do a foot stomp where beat 2 would come in, okay? So I'm just sitting here on G, C, G, C, C. I'll do it slow. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, so there is, when you look at the music, you'll see the tiniest little gap where you could write in a little note. And I'll show you guys that when I bring up the music. Last thing that I have in the study notes is a possible position change that I thought of, and there's always more. This is just a starting point, right? Measure 12, you're sitting there in 5th position. You've come from 5th position in the measure before. And you've got this written. Okay, so that's 8, 7, 5, and then 8 on the second string. But if you feel like it's hard to then go down here in the next part, if you feel like that position change is a little awkward and you want to go at it earlier, you may want to. And so what I did was I wrote that on one line, 8, 7, 5, 3, just so you could see you know, how you could bring yourself down that way instead. It's up to you, you know. I have played these strings so much already, they're getting worn out right here. How much do I play in a day? You know what? I think I better time myself one day and see how many hours I play. I'm going to check that out. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and play my tune for you. Can everyone see that okay there? Yeah, okay, right on. So looking down here, I'll just, go over those study notes. The C major scale is something we've played many times, but it's always nice to come back to it. You can also take a lot of this and use it to practice your hammer-ons, which is something we'll do in Whiskey Before Breakfast as we add on to it. So like hammering on from 0 to 2. You can even do, if you feel so inclined, when you're playing the C major scale, you can do a hammer-on from 0 to 1, and then 1 to 3, and on the first string, 0 to 2, and then 2 to 3. You'll practice hammer-ons, 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 and what'll happen is you'll get more comfortable hammering on from, say, open to your first fret, that E to F. Sometimes that position feels a little awkward, so if you just sit and practice it with that C major scale, your finger strength and independence between your fingers will get stronger and stronger. So I would encourage you to do that. I use a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs in this song, so it's good to practice it both ways with that C major scale, pull-offs and hammer-ons. We've got our syncopated rhythm here. Sorry, trying to highlight it here. Again, at the bottom of the page. Let's take a look at it there. If you're looking at the notes, you'll see we've got an eighth, and then a quarter, and then there's this little gap right here in between that quarter and eighth. That's where that foot tap comes in, okay? That's echoed in the tablature, but I know it's not as big. So right there where my arrow is, that's where you may want to draw a little line or something, little slant or something, just so you know that's where beat number 2 comes in. For writing the counting, I would go underneath the 3. The first 3 is 1, and then under this 3 is and 2. And then underneath this 3 is and. So 1 and 2 and then the 2 remaining quarter notes are beat 3 and then beat 4. Boy, when my migraine was done, I felt like I had just like a fresh brain this morning. It's amazing. I was just on it. Pa-ting! Could have been the coffee. Could have been not having a migraine. I don't know. Now I'm going to play this tune for you guys. It's pretty comfortable sitting there in the first section there. It's all first position, so lots of opens, lots of opportunities for hammer-ons and pull-offs. When I get to measure 9, I try to use my index finger on string 2 there that I've highlighted, middle finger on string 3. The reason for that positioning is so in the next measure, I have my index finger ready to go to that 2nd fret note. All right, that's enough. I'm going to play this now. I'll do the repeats, and I'll go through it, kind of try to make it nice and smooth for you guys. Then we'll go through it a little bit slower. You can play with me. Play with me the first time if you're ready too. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Next line. going to repeat it with some hammer-ons. Next section. Here we go. So I did add some slides in there too. I tried to give you guys some ideas about things you could do. I'm going to go through it again slower. We'll go through it, make sure we got the notes comfortably lined up, and then take a look at where we can add some slides and pull-offs and hammer-ons, and try to echo the sound of a fiddle a little bit. We'll fiddle around with Whiskey Before Breakfast. Okay, so we'll line up here again. Okay. We'll just take our time getting it going. Okay. And now I have to say, I was playing with alternating my fingers, just because that's something I'd already been playing the song like that. You can totally play through the whole thing with your thumb. You just may find that if you want to ramp up the speed, it may be a little bit tricky to keep everything going just with your thumb, but maybe thumb and finger could be an option. See what works for you, right? Okay, here we go. 1 and 2 and here we go. Oh, 2, oh, 1, 3, 3, next measure. 3, oh, 3, 1, oh, 2, oh. It's just part of the scale, right? Now 1, oh, 1, oh, 3, oh, 2, oh, 2, oh, 1, oh, 2. Now the second line, I've got to tell you, the only difference between the first line and the second line is the last measure. Whoops. This last, okay, measure 4 and measure 8 it's the only difference. The first 3 measures are identical on both lines. So it makes it nice, right? Like this is the first chunk of the song that's the easiest to get comfortable with. So let's play that second line now. Here we go. Oh, 2, oh, 1, 3, 3, 3, oh, 3, 1, oh, 2, oh. 1, oh, 1, oh, 3, oh, 2, oh, 2, oh, oh. Okay, repeat, here we go. Oh, 2, oh, 1, 3, 3, 3, oh, 3, 1, oh, 2, oh. 1, oh, 2, oh, 2, oh, 1, oh, 2. Good. Okay, next line. Oh, 2, oh, 1, 3, 3, 3, 1, oh, 2, oh. 1, oh, 1, oh, 3, oh, 2, oh, 2, oh, oh. Okay. So that section lends itself really well to a lot of hammer-ons. You can start to feel them in there, right? I was going to talk about it just a little bit before we go into the second section, because the first part's pretty fun to play. Right here, the O2 at the beginning there, oh, so nice. That'd be the first thing I would do. So if I wanted to add some hammer-ons, I'd do it right from there, O to 2. Okay. And then, if you felt so inclined, you could do a pull-off right here, 2-O, because the first two measures feels pretty complete doing that. I'm going to hammer on the O2 and pull off the 2-O. Okay. And then I see another 2-O right here, the last measure. And the last measure of line 2. Okay, so if I see an O and a 2, hammer on, 2 and an O, pull off. Let's try that. We'll just try the first line, okay? Here we go. Hammer on. Three, O, 3, 1. Here we go. O, 2. Another pull off. 2, O, 2. Were you guys able to do any hammer-ons and pull-offs in there? Kind of, sort of?
I did a double pull off on the 310.
Oh, nice. Well done. Well done. That requires a little bit more work keeping that hand position lined up. That's cool. So that's the thing. You can do double pull-offs. You can add, play it the way you want to add expression, right? That's where I usually, when I'm looking at doing hammer-ons and pull-offs, I usually start, I think it's my habit to start with my middle finger first. Like, okay, where can I use that one to add hammer-ons and pull-offs? And I get going. And then I'm like, what else can I add? It's just, you hit the coloring sheet, right? And see what works. Then you might also want to do, like that first fret note right there on the third measure. You might want to do just a quick hammer on to that one. Like real fast, open to 1. You could do it there too. Yeah, that's right, you got it there. So it's, now you could try this. I'm going to do my hammer-ons from O to 2 and pull-offs, and then that quick hammer-on just on that first fret there. There we go. Oh, I did it there too. I think I've got, oh my gosh, I've got pull-off-itis now. Did you hear that? Almost everything I was pulling. You probably don't want to do like pull-offs and hammer-ons on everything because it might get a little bit too relaxed sounding, you know, but okay, I'm going to try it again without pull-off-itis. Okay, here I go. That was more mindful, I guess, when I played it that time. But you add what you want, right? You make it yours. Something you may want to consider, again in this section, because like you guys have been with me for a while, you know, like you all look pretty comfortable with things already. You may want to try doing a little slide up to that third fret note. Okay, so it could be something like, hang on here, let me think about it. That one might not be the best one to do that with, but what I did was I played the 3s, normal, and then I backed off with the finger that I used on that and just went from like either first fret or second fret. And it adds a little decoration because you've got the 3 notes in a row. It's nice to have a little bit of a variety on it, so yeah, it could work. Oops, this one here would be nice to do it with too, that 3 right there. So you start to find these little spots where if you're already comfortable playing the melody, how can you decorate it, right? What can you do to add variety between the first and second time of playing it? Right? That's a big thing there. See what works, see what you like. All right, that's enough picking on that part. Let's go on, we'll play the second section now. Boy, I'm right into this song. I really like it. So when I lined myself up, just as a reminder, I used my index finger there and my middle there, just so I didn't have to worry about hopping back to my second fret. But you could bar and just get out of it really fast. All right, here we go. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Same rhythm up top there. 5, 5, 7, 8, 7, 5, 8, 2, 3, 0, 2. How I got through that was I had my index finger sitting on that 5th fret and I shifted down to my 2nd fret. Let's do that measure a little slower, okay? So we just measure 12. I've lined myself up, so baby fingers on my 8th fret, ring is on my 7th, pointer fingers on my 5th. So I'm firmly in 5th position, and I went 8, 7, 5, 8, and then I just shifted right down with that pointer finger, down to my 2nd fret. Good. Yeah. Okay, let's play that whole line again. I feel like I started it too fast for us to have a chance to think about all that. So I'm going to slow it down. 1, so right from measure 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3. Point your finger on that 2nd fret. 2, 3, 5, 3, 2, 0, 3. I used my index finger there. And then I shift up to my 5th fret and could bar right there. Here we go on that 5th fret. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 7, lifting out of that bar if I'm in it. 8, 7, 5, 8, shifting down to that 2nd fret. 2, good. 0, 2, next line. 3, 7, 3, 2, 5, 3, 0, 3, 0, 2. Good. We're in familiar territory now. 1, 0, 1, 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 0. When I am playing here on line measure 13 there, I've got my pointer finger on my 3rd fret, and my ring finger reaches for my 7th fret. And then pointer finger moves down to 2nd fret. Or sorry, I said ring finger, I meant baby finger. And then baby finger on the 5th fret. So I'm sitting there, pointer on the 3rd fret, baby reaches to 7th fret, index moves down to 2nd fret, baby finger on the 5th fret. And that gives me a chance to move myself around comfortably. And I am using, I keep my index finger bopping on that 2nd fret until I move down back to this area where I'm more firmly in 1st position. Okay, so I'll stop sharing that and I'll play it so you guys can watch my hand position, okay? 1st section, you guys, no problem at all. 2nd section, there are some technical challenges, so, okay, here we go. So I'll go through that, just the 2nd section.
Tina, why not stay high until you get to the open at 14? Because you could play the 3 and the 2 on the E string.
You absolutely could. This is the thing. This is just one position to play it in. Make notes for yourself. Move that around. Like if you want to stay up high, do it. Absolutely. That'd be fun. Oops. Yeah. Possibilities are endless, right? That's the thing, you guys. This is where you want to take a look at your fretboard chart if you're not sure of your notes. Get your ukulele fretboard chart out and see where you can move those notes to. Because this is just one of different places. You could be playing up high here. You could be bopping all over. So here I go with measure 9. I'll just sit up here. So just one position, right? Oops. You could even, if you needed to, just drag yourself down. Or stay up high the whole time. Yeah, absolutely. Depends on what you want to do, where you want to go. So let's work through that second part a little bit more, okay? And we'll just see how it feels, where we want to go, all that sort of stuff. Now, Laurel, you had suggested staying up right until measure 15. And I wonder, let me just take a look at my finger in there.
All the way from 11 to 14.
11 to 14? Yeah, right on.
Yeah. Move down on the open A.
Yeah, absolutely. That feels kind of nice.
Yeah, it's less bouncing around.
Yep. Might have to write this out in a few different positions and just see. If you guys can make a switch like that while we're playing, go for it. Otherwise, just leave it where it is, and you can make notes as you go. But let's try this second section here. Okay, so right from measure 9, there we go. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Here we go. 2, 3, 5, 3, 2, 0, 3. Position change. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 7, 8, 7, 5, 8, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 7, 3, 2, 5, 3, 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 3. Cool. Laurel, were you able to keep it up in that upper position while you were playing? No, but you're going to be able to. You just got to take your time with it, right? That's cool. I'm going to play around with it.
I can do it. I just can't do it at speed yet because I'm still thinking of where I'm going.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was thinking about that too. I was like, okay, come on now. It feels nice up there, though. I like it. So I just got to retune this bad boy here. There we go. You know, these poor strings are at their end. I think I've been playing it. I'm going to time myself through this week and see how much time I'm spending playing, because I think it's more than I realize. Now, you guys, you can sit and you can play this just as it is without turning it into a chord melody, and it'll sound plenty nifty. Not everything needs to be, turned into a bigger deal. However, you might decide that you want to. And what I would really suggest you do to start with this is just wherever you see like the C chord name, right there, I would just add in, we know that the second or the third, oh my gosh, do your counting, Tina, fourth string open is part of the C chord. You could easily bop that in there just as a pinch on the first beat of each measure is what I would do. Or like second measure here, I would use the third string open for C. So you'd have this sort of sound. Like you could start by doing a pinch or a little strum using that third string open that's already there on that first measure and adding in the open fourth string below that, so you get. But maybe, you don't really care for that sound. Maybe what you want to do is have just a. And you want to pinch every time rather than do a strum. So you could stick your fourth string open in on that first measure, third string on that next measure, so you have a bit more of a bolder C chord sound. And you could use that open C here, just that third string open there, and right under this, and then fourth string open here. It could just be open string country, because that third string open is part of your C chord. If you strum that C chord, you can see that in there. So I'm going to play that first line, and I'm going to add as a pinch either my fourth string open, if there's room for it. So like at the very first measure here, I'm going to do that. And at the last measure, I'm going to do that. Second measure, I'm going to use my third string open here and do just a little pinch. So I'll have 3 and then an open. And I'm going to do it here underneath my, where it says F chord. I'm just going to throw in a little open there on that third string. And then where it says C chord, I'm going to do that same third string open there. So check this out. Oh, sorry. Check out my mistakes. Yeah, here we go. Okay, for real this time. Just simple with those open strings. Next line. And it works for the high G or low G. Just open strings. You don't need anything fancy schmancy. So again, that's just try it for a minute on your own there, while I'm talking away. So pinch, if you're already playing your third string open, like you are here at the beginning, then pinch by adding your fourth string open with that. Next measure, add your third string open in under that. And if you're like, why is she doing the third string? It's because that third string is called C, our chord is C, and it'll sound lovely. And then under that F, add your third string open there because that's part of your F chord. And then where it says C, third string open there. Under G, tuck your fourth string in. And it's fun. I didn't have time to write it out with the opens in there. When I go back inside and get more coffee, I'll do that and make a little, just really simple. We don't need anything hard. We need just like a little drone. Okay, so I'm going to go through and play that first section. And when I say pinch, basically, if you think about, you're going to pinch whatever string is just underneath that melody note that you're playing. The first and last measure of both lines, you're going to add in your fourth string open, The two inside measures, it's going to be your third string open. Okay, here we go. We'll go slow so we can really think about what we're doing. 1, 2, here we go. Add your fourth string. Okay, on the next measure, add your third string, do a little pinch. I'll slow it down. Here we go, slower. Under the F, it's third string open. And again, under that C chord, C is open. Now back to your fourth string. Were you guys able to get those little pinches in there? Pinchy, pinchy, yeah, pinchy, pinchy. Okay, let's try the next line. Okay, and we'll do, again, same idea. I'll just say it again so it's stuck in your brain. First measure and the last measure, you're just going to add your fourth string open as a pinch. On this last measure here that I'm looking at, you're going to add it there, and then because you've got the C chord listed there, because it says chord change, add another little pinchy poo there, your fourth string open again. Okay? I'll try to keep it slower. I'm like totally revved up about this song, so it's hard for me to play it slow. Okay, right from measure 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, little pinch, pinch, 2, 0, 1. Okay, now we're going to do a pinch of that third string open in the next measure. Now we're here under that F chord, we're going to do a pinch of the third string. Another pinch on third string. Last measure, we just add in that fourth string open. Here we go. And another pinch. Did it work? Because right on. Okay, I'm going to do a little victory lap through those two lines. I'm going to play them with the little pinches. I know victory laps, right? Well, yeah, we got it going on. We'll just play through that first section just one time, okay? And we'll try to add in the pinches. Here we go. Pinch. Okay, now we're on that second measure there, so we add third string. Under the F chord, so third string pinch. Another third string pinch. Last measure, so fourth string pinch. Okay, next line, fourth string pinch. Okay, third string pinch there. 3, 0, 3, 1, 0, 2, 0. We're under that F chord, so we're going to add in a little third string pinch. Another third string pinch. Last measure, fourth string pinch. And one more pinch. We're pinchy. Pinchy, pinchy. That's cool. Okay, so I'm just going to sit and play it at kind of a little bit more of a rollicking speed, so you guys can hear the little pinches. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I added in some little slides and stuff so you could hear that we can build on what we talked about before. Now the idea can be the same down here, but I know it's going to be busier, right? I know that from the pattern that we've gotten before, if you see a C chord, you can play that third string open, right? So this is going to be busier. I'll walk you guys through this about where you could make some notes if you have them. If you see a C chord, I would play your third string open. If you see a G chord listed, like in measure 10, I would play your fourth string open, because that's, of course, it's called a G, right? So you want to get that going. This section here, under the D minor, is probably busy enough. You might just, you might just want to leave it the way it is for now. You do have a G coming back in. Just thinking about keeping it all open strings, right? Under that G there, toss in another fourth string open, okay? The final line is going to be easier for tossing in all the open strings. If you see a C, you got your third string open. If you see a G, you got your fourth string open. And we know from above, you can use that third string open for your F chord. So you can hop along with that. And just keep that going. Okay? So third string open, third string open. Under the G is back to your fourth string open. And same thing here for the final C, because of course we're already playing that third string, so we're going to hit that fourth string.
The F at 14 is interesting because you're playing an A note with it instead of an F. It sounds kind of different.
Yes, it does. We could add in a... I was thinking about that earlier. It's like, okay, how are we going to do this? You may wind up, if you're comfortable down there, you may wind up wanting to toss in a bit more of an F chord period, right? Like you may want to hit your 0, 1, and then open. Like a little tiny F chord there would help it. That would build it, for sure. I feel like the chord that was listed there isn't all that we need. Like I kind of feel like we need something more there, but I'm not even really... I kind of wonder if we need something other than F, like I say, but having a little baby F chord right there would be good. Just 0, 1, 0 would build it. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Like just trying to harmonize these things. Let's try from measure 9 and chuck in the opens where you can, okay? And yeah, under the D minor, I wouldn't worry about doing anything fancy. You're already fancied up all the way along there. So pick it up again on the G, okay? Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, pinch. 1 and... Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh, I hit the wrong note. Let's try it again. Here we go. Pinch. Now fourth string pinch. Don't worry about anything fancy. 8, 7, 5, 8. If you can pinch. Okay, next line under the C. Under the G. Baby F chord here maybe. Oh, okay, now a little pinch. Another little pinch. Fourth string pinch. Okay, let's try that again. Ready for measure 9? Here. I started speeding up because again I'm like, yeah, whiskey before breakfast. Okay, here we go. Ready, go. Now fourth string pinch. Under the D minor, just no pinch. Okay, down to the G. Under the C. 4th string again, baby F, C pinch, C pinch, G pinch, C pinch, or G pinch. Okay, I keep sliding, I gotta tell you guys, right here, this 2, right here, instead of playing that 2nd string open, what I really want to do is just slide up to the 4th fret on that same string. 2, sliding up to 4, all on the C string. Yeah, so hit the 2, slide up firmly, you know, to that 4th fret and put the brakes just behind that 4th fret. And then 3rd string open. So you don't have to keep heavy pressure on, but you want to make sure that you slide right up to that 4th fret. And it gives it, I don't know, I like that sound. I feel like I want to do that at the end of the 1st section. Whoops, up here. And the end of the 2nd section. That's what I want to do. Yeah, right on. Oh my gosh, so much fun to play these tunes. I love traditional music. Love all these fiddle tunes. I talk about the old-time fiddlers quite a bit. I think I gotta join them. I'll be an old-time, not fiddler, guitar, ukulele, or and just hang out, I think. I feel like I need it in my life. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some notes on, like when I go back upstairs. I don't have the program on this this computer down here right now. I'm having some struggles still with getting things organized on the Mac. I'm coming along though. I'm getting better every time. Anyway, I'll go upstairs, make some notes, and I think also put it in that second that other position option, Laurel, that you talked about. I'll put it in that. And we will all probably play Whiskey Before Breakfast a little bit different. And on St. Patrick's Day, this can be one of the tunes you play first thing in the morning. All right, I'm going to stop recording this now because I feel like I'm just I'm having such a good time with this song.